It's magnificent.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have got my G27 review. Before we start this video, I just want to let you guys know I have no affiliation with Logitech. This is literally my own opinion. I thought I'd make that clear just before we start off the video. You know, I bought this with my hard-earned money, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys an opinion on what I think of it. It's going to be a bit balanced. I genuinely think I've got quite a good opinion for those who are looking for a wheel. This was my first wheel I ever bought, so I think generally I could have a good stance on this to give to you guys, and obviously maybe you guys might learn something which I didn't know when I was looking for a wheel, you know, for the first time. So you know, without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So I'm going to quickly just give you a straight answer on what my opinions on the wheel are. So, you know, when it's working to its best. The force feedback's tremendous. You know, obviously the gear shifter, having that as the package and not having to pay extra for that, that's also amazing. I love the fact that the shifter comes with the overall package and the clutch. You know, it's a true all-in-one package. You know, I don't think any other wheel is really gonna come close to the G27 in terms of value for your money, but it's very unreliable. I've went through 3 wheels since I first bought it, all being replaced under the warranty, which may I mention there is a warranty, so that's a very good thing that Logitech implemented. Otherwise, I would be kind of stuck. So there is a warranty, and I've gone through 3 wheels, and I would say it's very unreliable. If you're going to get this wheel, just know that, you know, you can't keep it plugged in the mains, otherwise the power supply is going to wear out. You can't do certain things, so yeah, you kind of have to maintain the wheel. There's a few things which I, you know, understood straight off the bat, which I couldn't do. You know, like, I couldn't keep it plugged in all the time, otherwise, you know, the power supply was going to get knackered, and I wouldn't be able to play with my wheel. And that's actually what happened at one point. You know, the shifter broke, and then the power supply broke. I bought a new power supply, and everything kind of was all, it wasn't a fluid experience. You have to maintain the wheel if you want to play with it. Okay, now we've got the kind of main overview out of the way for those who wanted a quick opinion. We're going to go in depth talking about, you know, how the force feedback works, you know, during gameplay, the price I paid and if it's worth the price, and we're going to compare it to its competitors, because I have used a few of the competitors' wheels, and I can kind of give a kind of an insight on that. You know, I haven't used them for extended times, but I have used them, so I think it's fair to say I can give an opinion on that. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's talk about the force feedback. Just to say it straight, it's amazing. I think, honestly, it's probably the best force feedback I've used ever in a wheel. Logitech, it really shows that this was the golden age of Logitech wheels in its finest. You can really feel every bump in the road. When it's new, it's unrivaled. When it's new, it's unrivaled, but it does downgrade over time, and that is my main issue with the force feedback. Now, I've used it on games, you know, on a broad range of games. GT5, GT6, Underground 2, Shift 2, Project Cars, The Run. I've used it on everything, the Crew, so I've got an extended knowledge on how it works. Initial D, I mean, the list goes on what I've actually used the wheel with. And honestly, on all those games, it doesn't disappoint. You know, the force feedback and the wheel generally, the precision, it's amazing. You know, I've used it on PC, PS4, Xbox One. I've used that on all of it, because obviously I have a device called the Cronus Max, which I'm going to be talking about later on. But, you know, I've used it on all those devices, and I'm going to say it's really good. It's a very good wheel for what you get. You know, for someone who's on a budget, you really can't go wrong. But you just got to keep in mind, if you're buying this just to play on next-gen consoles using devices such as the Cronus Max, you're going wrong. Now, this was my main issue when I was looking for the wheel. Obviously, I was a first-time buyer, so I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy the Cronus Max, and it's literally going to be a next-gen experience. No. Now, if you're going to buy a G27, you need to buy the G27 for A, being a PC wheel, or B, being a PS3 wheel. You don't buy this thinking you can use it on a next-gen system. Now, this may be obvious to some of you guys, but you know, there is ways of getting around the security systems on Xbox One and PS4. And a lot of people will buy this wheel thinking, you know what, I'm going to get the wheel and I'm going to get the Cronus Max and I'm just going to, you know, use it that instead of getting, say, a Thrustmaster or a Fantech wheel. Now, although the Cronus Max, it's very good, I would recommend those who have a G27 to go ahead and get it and not spend the extra money on, say, a Thrustmaster or whatnot. But, and this is a huge but, if you're going to buy a G27 for kind of next gen, I'd say, honestly, don't. Look at your other alternatives, because otherwise you're gonna end up spending a lot more money than you need to, you know, on, you know, the Cronus Max and the G27, and it probably won't be worth it for you. That's the one thing I kind of really messed up on, is I bought this thinking I was gonna use a Cronus Max, use it on my Xbox One, and although it's worked fine, you know, the force feedback using the Cronus Max is extremely light, and you know, sometimes it disconnects, and overall it's a big hassle, as where if you go to some of the other PS4 branded wheels, then you know you're gonna get a good quality experience, unlike the Cronus Max with the G27. So just keep that in mind, you know, if you are planning to buy this for a next gen system. Okay, so next let's talk about build quality. I'm gonna say the build quality is good. Everything is some parts are a bit plasticky here and there, like the shifter, it's quite plasticky. The wheel itself is made out of metal, you got the leather, and overall it's a very well built wheel. Even the flappy pedals, like if I just click them now, that's a solid click, you know, like that's not a plasticky click, that is a solid click. And overall the build quality of the wheel, it's very good. I know some people had issues with the buttons on the actual wheel itself, saying they were too mushy. Me personally, I didn't really have any issues with the buttons, they worked completely fine for me. But that is something that some people had an issue with, so maybe you might be you know, on board with that issue, if you know what I mean. On the wheel itself, you do get an RPM light, which it works on limited games, usually on PC, and I think Gran Turismo works with it as well. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool added feature if you know, are into that kind of stuff. If you're a really hardcore sim kind of guy, I guess that kind of RPM light would really be a cool feature. As well as that, you know, the shifter, it's amazing. You know, I mean, the build quality again, it's quite good. I think one of mine broke, but that was just because literally I was doing Fast and Furious shifts, and that was completely my fault. Again, it's a H-gate shifter, not a sequential shifter, unlike the G25, which had a sequential and H-gate. It's only the 6-speed box. So if you're playing games such as The Crew, where it requires a 7-speed box, you have to use the flappy paddles, and that is literally your only choice. You can't use the shifter. And overall, the overall Logitech theme of things during the G27 of, you know, having this overall package, that's honestly the main reason why I'd go for it. If you're going to go and get a PC wheel and you're on a budget, the G27 is a no-brainer. You know, it's amazing for what you get. The leather feels amazing, the shifter and the overall package, I mean, if you're on a budget, you can't go wrong. However, if you're buying this for consoles, don't. I'd honestly say go for a alternative. Look at your alternatives at least and try them out before you buy. That's one main thing. You know, if you know a friend who has a wheel like this, go to his house and try it out, because that's the main thing you want to have before you buy a wheel. Is kind of expertise with it. Like I said, I use the Thrustmaster T500 RS at Goodwood, and honestly, it's a lot quieter. The G27 is quite loud in how it works, and that, especially when I'm recording and when, you know, I'm playing at night, it doesn't help because obviously it's going to wake people up, and it's just overall very loud. And obviously when you go over to the Thrustmaster, it's not so loud, and obviously with the other ones you've got proper next gen compatibility. And overall, if you are buying this just to kind of have a quick loop and buy it for your PS4 or your Xbox One, because no one's going to be buying it for their PS3 at this moment in time, you know, it's coming to the end of its life cycle, the G27, you're going to be able to get it for cheap, and I think people are going to be looking at these loopholes, such as the Cronus Max. If you are literally buying this just to have a loophole and get it into the next-gen consoles, no. If you're buying it for PS3 still for some reason, then it's, yeah, again, it's a no-brainer, you want to go get it. But if you're buying it for any next-gen type of use, I've got to say, look at your alternatives. Really look at, like, the new G29's coming out. Look at that. Look at the Thrustmaster wheels, because you don't want to make the same mistake I did, and I kind of regret going for it. Not so much because of, you know, the reliability issues. I can live with that, you know. It's more to do with the overall experience, you know, the force feedback getting weaker, and it just isn't what I quite expected in terms of the long term. Short term, you're going to have a great time, but in the long term, it's going to get weaker. You're going to have issues, and a lot of people on the forum have issues with the G27, and I think overall, if you're going to buy this, buy it as a PC budget wheel. Don't buy it as anything else but that. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a PC wheel, you can't go wrong with a G27. But if you've got a bit more cash to spend, then definitely go for something else. Is basically the advice I'm giving you. And if you're looking for a console wheel, you know, and you kind of want to use the loophole as the Cronus Max to use it, then I'd say definitely go for an alternative. Don't rely on the G27. It had a good run. Honestly, for the PS3, I'd say it was probably one of the best wheels I've ever used. But you know, the granddaddy of wheels is getting old. You know, it's time for the next generation of wheels to come, and I think that's definitely shown. Honestly, if I had to give a score, I don't like giving scores, but if I had to give a score, I'd say it's a solid 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 currently. Having used it for about 4 months, I think it's 4 months. I'd say it's a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's done a great job, but it's definitely time to move on, I'd say. It's had its run, it's done well. If you're buying it for PC, again, I can't stress how much this would be, how good it would be for you if you're buying this for PC. But if you're buying this for, you know, console, it's simply just not worth it. And that's today's video. I didn't really want to go and talk about, you know, the boring in-depth stuff, because I mean the G27's been out for ages now. If you're interested in a wheel, you probably already know all that information. And I think I kind of covered the main points which weren't in many other reviews. And I think I did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job. So yeah, overall, it's a good wheel if you go for a PC budget wheel. Other than that, you know, its aging is showing, and I'd go for something else. And that's it. So if you guys enjoyed, you know, hit the like, subscribe for more racing game content. I will see you guys in the next video, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.